Now it's time for our Need segment where we bring you up to date on current Riverside County news and events. Here at Spectrum of Innovation, we were in the middle of our monthly production schedule when everyday things began changing. A week ago, Governor Newsom issued a stay-at-home order to protect everyone's health and slow the spread of COVID-19. Our executive producer, Diane Strand, and I spoke via Zoom with Temecula Mayor James Stewart and Marietta Mayor Jean Wunderlich to obtain some local city perspective to this crisis.
Let me know how things are going running a city remotely from your home.
So our city manager and our city staff are the ones that are actually running the city. And they're basically running it 24/7 right now. They're doing a great job. Let me put it that way. I mean, our city staff and city manager are pretty amazing at what they do. So for me personally, it's just been advising him and him being an informational conduit to me to let me know what's happening within the city, our business community, our citizens. And so, again, I can't thank our city staff enough for what they're doing.
You know, City Hall may be closed, but we're still working every day to process, development plans. Once we get through this, we have to continue to build. We have to continue to grow. We have to continue to add businesses and houses and take care of citizens.
So what are some of the plans the city is working on to get business back to normal once this is all lifted?
Well, that's probably been the hardest thing for the city and the citizens is not working. We're just going to be out there supporting businesses, any kind of infrastructure that's necessary for them to get their businesses open as quickly as possible.
All the mayors are working together. The city councils are working together, trying to keep our elderly safe and secure. Our public safety personnel are out there on the front lines every day.
So can you tell us some examples that you've seen or how you feel the community is coming together in this challenging time?
We've seen a lot of inspirational just chalk drawings by kids on the neighborhood sidewalks, and people are putting up Christmas lights in March and teddy bears in windows and just things to to maybe spark a smile.
I had two ladies, actually a nurse and a pharmacist, who is really at the forefront of this whole thing. In a Facebook post, they said, "Hey, we bake during times like this. Do you want some banana bread and some cookies?" And of course I said yes. And so they dropped them off at my front doorstep. So I think it's little things like that. I think you're gonna hear stories probably for who knows how long, of people who after the fact said, "Oh, so-and-so did this for me," or "So-and-so brought over this product for me," So I think it is happening quite a bit out there.
So is there anything else you'd like to share with the residents and the region as a whole?
Yeah. Well, I would say just stay at home if you can. Get outside when you need to, because I think connecting with nature is one of the most healthiest things we can do, especially in a time like this. And look at my Facebook page, Temecula Stew, because I have a lot of information that comes straight from the city about this pandemic, about what the city wants you to do and not want you to do. I have a lot of helpful hints, even on how to keep your kids busy.
Stay informed, but try not to drown in the drama. There's a lot of, there's a lot of hysteria out there. A lot of folks coming up with uninformed things. Well, I heard from a cousin's friend that, this and this. No. Stay informed with the real deal. Turn the news off for a while. Get off of Facebook for a little while. You can find a lot of reliable and timely information on the Riverside County Public Health website, some federal websites out there, or you can get access to all these through www.murrietaca.gov/coronavirus.
Thank you, Mayor Stu and Mayor Jean. It was good to check in and hear their reassuring words. You can find the links that they mention on our website. The COVID-19 outbreak is affecting all aspects of our lives, even some of the things we never thought would change, like when you pay your taxes. But now everything has changed. The federal and California state government has postponed the filing and tax payment deadline for 2020 to July 15th, 2020. Now, while preparing for your taxes might not be the first thing you're thinking about right now, it is a productive way to fill the time while staying at home. With that in mind, we want to set a few myths straight to help you avoid misinformation that might affect the amount you owe and get back from the IRS. Are you ready for our true or false tax quiz? Let's see what myths are true or false. Myth number 1. Filing an extension on your taxes gives you extra time to pay owed taxes. This is false. Requesting an extension to file your taxes does not mean you get extra time to pay owed taxes. COVID-19 has granted extra time, but regardless, at this point in time, July 15th is the deadline to pay all owed federal taxes. Now, there are good and bad reasons to file for an extension. A bad reason to apply for an extension would be if you're simply trying to avoid the tax bill. A good reason would be if you need to gather extra forms or are experiencing a life-changing event like childbirth, death, or a natural disaster. Keep an eye out for updates if tax deadlines change or more extensions are allowed due to COVID-19. Right now, with a properly filed extension, eligible taxpayers can request a 6-month extension to file their return. Myth number 2. There is nothing you can do to get your refund sooner. Actually, that myth is incorrect. You can get your refund faster by using e-file or direct deposit. However, there is no golden rule as to when you will receive it. The IRS says it takes about 21 days for refunds to process. Luckily, you can check your federal refund status online, and we have that link on our website for you. Myth number 3. A pay raise means less pay that I get to take home. That's neither true or false. According to Credit Karma, it depends. A pay raise may cause you to take less pay home, but only if the raise causes a jump in your tax bracket. However, the benefit is that you only pay taxes on the amount that falls in that higher bracket. A pay raise is always a good thing. Myth number 4. Students don't have to pay taxes. This actually depends on how much a student brings home as income. Students that are claimed as a dependent and make less than $12,200 in a year are not required to pay income tax. Myth number 5. I can claim my pet as a dependent. Hey, I'm a dog mom, and one could only hope. They are an expense, but let's face it, they're not humans. So unfortunately, no. Falsely claiming a pet as a dependent is fraud. Myth number 6. A home office deduction sets you up for an automatic audit. Years ago, this myth may have been partially true. Thankfully, they are much more common, so with legitimate reason, there is no need to fear claiming a home office for your business, thinking it will trigger an audit. We hope you passed our quiz with flying colors and eased some stress. You also need to know that according to the Riverside County Treasurer, Tax Collector, the April 10th deadline for paying property taxes cannot be extended. Late payment fees might be waived under special circumstances. Check out our website for links to more info.